Let's take a classic real life example to understand permissions. For example, I have a beach property, a house next to the beautiful beach, and I own this house. So definitely I want to make sure that I should have access to this house. Now outside of this house there is a lock, and this lock has three keys. So one key I always keep for myself, being the owner. I also want to make sure that my family can also use this house. So another key I have kept it for my family. And I also want to list this property on a vacation site so that any guest can pay me and use this property. So the third key I have allocated and kept for the guest as well. So the way I'm trying to give access of my beach house to myself, to my family, and to guest, I can compare this to file permissions in Linux. Whenever we create a file, we can see some parameters as the very first line or very first column. So if I see ls-l, I can see some dash, some rwx, something written here, right? So this very first column tries to describe the permissions of this file, the access to this file, you can say, in other words, if I compare with the property. So the very first dash, okay, if it is a dash, it means it's a simple file. If it is, if it's a D, it means it's a directory. Okay. So let's go to the next part. When I see three different sections, you can see rwx, r-x, r-x. So what does these stands for? So R stands for read, W stands for write, and X stands for execute. So R means this file can be read by whom? By owner, or by group, or by others. So I can see when let me create a file here, touch test file, ls-l test file. So it comes like this is a file, okay, and it has been given some properties, dash rw dash rw dash r dash dash. So let's see how it is divided. So it's divided in three groups. Okay, the first three permission set is for the owner. So owner can read, owner can write, and owner can execute. X means. So for the group can read, the group can write, the group can execute. And for the others, if others can read, write, or execute. This is how. So these are three different keys. Okay. If I compare to the beach property, so each person, for example, owner is having one key, the group, that means my family, is having another key, and others also have another key to this property. I have, since I am the owner, I can decide who can have access and who cannot have access to this file now. Let me use the users here. For example, let me use login as Bob. Okay, and let me log in as Sarah here. So let me use a common folder, say /tmp, and let Sarah touches a file, touch my home. Okay, so this is Sarah's home. So Sarah has given, and Sarah has three keys. First key she owns, okay, and second key is owned by her group HR. So the first triplet is for owner, the second triplet is for the group, and the third triplet is for the others. Okay, so let me write something in my home. Oh, it became hi home, sorry. kitchen, etc. Just example of my home. So cat my home. So sorry, it's hi home. Okay. So Sarah from her user can go and see the contents of hi room, and the permissions of hi home is it's a file, and then Sarah can read and write, the owner can read and write, the group can read, and others can also read right now. Let's see, let's log in as let me see who else is in HR group. So Bob is from HR. So let's see, can Bob read the file? So cd/tmp cat hi home. So Bob also has a key to read the file now. Let me log in as any other user now. So for example, let me log in as Tony. Okay. Can Tony read the file? Say cat hi home. Yes. Why? Because if I do ls-l, I can see ls-l hi home. I can see that owner itself can read and write, the group can only read, and others can also read. Now let from Bob, let me log in from Bob and try to write something in the file. Say hi home, insert, say microwave. So when I try to save it, sorry, it says read only. Option is set add to overwrite. So this clearly shows that Bob cannot write to the file because Bob does not have a key to write. It has a key only to read the file. Okay. Same with Tony. Now let me update these permissions. Okay. We'll take an example and let me update the permissions of hi home and say vi hi home, sorry, chmod, let the group, so group stand for G, add write permissions to group, so G plus W hi home. There's another way of using numbers, but I want to keep it simple and easy, so I'm using alphabets here. Okay, so chmod is the command to change the permissions, and then what should I add? Write to whom? To group. On what? Hi home. So let's see hi home file, and I can see that now the owner can read and write, the group can also read and write, but others cannot still write. So let me try from Bob now. So Bob, let me go down and say microwave. Yes, it was able to update the file. It was able to write in the file as well. Can I do from Tony now? Okay. No, I can't do that still. So that means, okay, so currently my group can read and write, but others cannot. I can totally remove the access of others, so they can't even read. To do that, I will do chmod, so O means others, okay, minus R. So minus means remove, plus means add. That's a simple mathematics we are applying with the parameters here. So chmod remove read only from others on file hi home. Okay, ls-l hi home. Okay, so others cannot even read now. So as Tony, if I try to cat the file, it says permission denied. We can consider Tony as one of my guests who took on rent for 5 days. As soon as 5 days are over, I have removed his access. So I have taken away the key, and now this person cannot log into my home. This person cannot access my property. So this is how permissions are set. So we can see there are 3 levels of permissions. One is for the owner, okay, or we can also say user, because if you want to add something to user, you have to use -u. So chmod u, say for example u plus x, which is executable, home. If I give executable to home, it has to, oh, I'm trying from Tony, so Tony cannot do anything now, sorry, I have to log in as Sarah. So chmod user plus executable on home, ls-l. I can see that permissions are, that x is also added to the home. So let's go back and take a look here. So I'll say the first three, the first triplet is for user, read, write, execute. For the group, read, write, execute, and for the others, read, write, execute. This is how permissions are maintained, and this is how chmod command is run. Now sometimes there is, in an organization, I'll go back to a different example now. In an organization, when there are some users who resign, okay, but there are files that somebody should take ownership of them because they are part of company property. Now for example, Sarah created a file called, employees. Sorry, let's say I'll create a file called employees, okay, which has list of all the employees, say Bob, Sarah, Jim, Tony, Lee, Ria, okay, and with information of their maybe salary, 4,000, 5,000, 4, 5, 6, 7, like this, okay. And Sarah made sure that when we access this file, nobody except Sarah and HR should access, so she removed the access. chmod others minus read employees, okay, and she made sure that anyone in the group should be able to update the file. So chmod group plus write employees, okay. Now Sarah is leaving. I cannot delete this file. I want to make sure the ownership of Sarah now goes to somebody else in a department. So I think Bob is in a department. So what root can do from root user, now Sarah may not be able to run this. Root can do it. So from root user, I'll log in. So I'm as root right now. So I'll go to the location of the file. I'll say change ownership, chown, to whom? To Bob, and the group HR for the file employees. So chown can change the ownership. Let me see what happened. So the ownership of file employees has changed, and the user Sarah, since she has resigned, I have to clean up her data. So to remove a user, the command is userdel. I generally give -r to remove all the files that user has created in the home directory. So userdel -r Sarah. Okay, it says Sarah is currently logged in. Let me log out, and then let me remove it. Okay, userdel group Sarah not removed because not the primary group of user Sarah. So ignore that part. So for right now, my Goal is to show you how to remove Sarah. So I'll go to /home, and I see that the folder of Sarah is removed and the user Sarah does not exist. Okay.